Hello, everyone, and welcome to Introduction to Computer Science, uh, spring term of 2021. My name is Sung Kim, and I'll be your instructor for this course. This is the recording for the first week, and I'm going to share with you what you need to know to accomplish all the things you're being asked. I'm sharing with you the Blackboard, the um, and so when you log into Blackboard and come into this course material, you should see all these tabs and icons you should be able to access. But first, here's my name, email, and cell phone number. Best way to get a hold of me is the email. So if you have any question, technical difficulties, or whatever, feel free to email me, and I will do my best to respond to you as soon as possible and quickly. And so today, what I want to accomplish is to show you some of the details that you will need to do this week's assignment. But first, here is the series of announcements that I have already posted. So you should have received all these announcements before. But if you haven't, then please take a few minutes to go over them. And then there is a syllabus that is posted for you. You can just simply click on it and download. You can open it up, and you can look through them. I will go over it with you shortly, but I want to show you your grades would be here after you submit. Today's lecture material will be posted inside under the week number 1, but here's the weekly menu. I don't think I'm going to put the lecture videos here, but I'll think about it, whether it's going to be over here or over here, maybe both, but I'll let you know. But typically you would come to this weekly link, and here you will find the objective of that week, any instructional material that I'm posting. Typically you will have a lesson plan for that week, and any a lecture video if there is one that's necessary. Not all week will have a lecture video, but if there's a need for that, then it'll be posted here probably. And then below would be any assignments that I'm asking you to do. This week you have several assignments. First one is to share yourself in the discussion board, to create a Hello World program, and to answer a few questions from the textbook, as well as to do the first section in a lab assignments. So first, let me go over the syllabus with you. So this is the syllabus. Let me move this guys out of the way so you can kind of look at it without. So here's basic information. It starts tomorrow, this week, but it doesn't really matter. I'll have materials for you at the beginning of the week, and the course ends in the middle of March. Do keep in mind that this is the actual term ends, and so that'll be important for you. Here's some basic information that you want to keep in mind. Some of the modes here. Typically, you'll have the lecture videos if I'm making one by the Monday morning, and then here's the required textbook material that I'm asking you to have access to. I'll show you this one here a little bit later, but this is the textbook that we're going to use. and you have a assignment that I'm asking you to do. This one is a online subscription based lab platform. So you will purchase a subscription to it. There's an instruction how to do it. It'll be linked to Blackboard so that your scores will be automatically synced. And I'll show you how to do this as well. And here's the code when you are subscribing. All right, and you will need a decent computer to work on some of the homeworks. But look over the material. Here is a general draft of the course schedule for the 8 weeks. And so we'll follow in general this flow. You can look at the rest of them. There's a lot of material here if this is a new semester for you, but it should be fairly clear. Okay. And now let me go over the lesson plan here. So if you click on that link and download the lesson plan, you'll have a detailed lesson plan for the week. I may update it and maybe just before the week begins. But if there are some substantial changes and updates, I will let you know through the announcements. I talked a little bit about this, and in terms of the welcome and introduction, this will be an online class, but we can have some online sessions outside of the classwork. So if you need any assistance, feel free to email me, and we'll try to take care of it. I do want to highlight that this is an intensive 8 weeks, so we do cover the same material as the regular 16-week full session. So please do plan enough time to put in for this course. This is a rather hands-on course, so there'll be some time commitments that are required. In terms of the due dates, I'll typically give you 2 weeks to finish your assignments and turn it in. So today being the 18th, you will have until end of not this week but week after. So that'll be like January 30, right? So try not to get too far behind. You can always try to do it the same week so that you don't have an overlap of what I'm covering and what is due. The assignment should not be overwhelming in terms of the level and the quantity, especially with all the detailed instruction that I'm giving you. So try to stay in sync with the course. If you do run into any issues because of your schedule or work or whatever, do let me know and keep me posted so that we may be able to work something out. Try not to wait until the last week of the course to make some serious request. I mentioned to you about the Zybook platform. You do need a subscription for that, so I'll show you how to do that as well. Diverse student composition. Just a quick note that in general, this is a first-year CSIT course at Lewis University, but some people are not a traditional first-year student out of high school, but rather they've been working for a while and they're coming back to get a degree and may have extensive IT experience. And so sometimes we do have people who are very well versed in the topics that we are covering. If you feel that the stuff that we're covering is too elementary and you look at the syllabus, you may want to explore the possibility of getting credit for this course, in which case you may want to talk to your dean. By the time you watch this video, it may be a little too late, but that's always an option that you might want to explore. Another option that you may want to have is to request some project instead of doing the coursework. and I am willing to work something out if you have a lot of experience and none of this is new to you, and you'd rather want to do something project rather than having to go through the stuff you already know. There are some resources, plenty of resources that you can leverage in terms of online resources here, other resources, and so visit them and see if any of them are helpful for you. I will also post them in the under the resources tab in the Blackboard. So like here under the resources, here are some resources that I found useful for some people. Maybe not all of them are useful for you, but I'll try to keep a compilation of all the resources in here. Then in terms of the assignments, so let's go over the assignments that you need to do. So first thing that I want to do is to show you the discussion board. So I'm going to move this out of the way. Bring the Blackboard here. So I'm going to go to the week 1 and discussion board. So you just maybe you do want to maybe copy this here and then so that you know what it is. But basically, you just need to click on this guy here, and it'll land you into discussion, and you need to post. But in order for you to post it, you got to create a thread, right? So create a thread. You can say hello. You can say hello, say from John Doe or somebody like that, or whatever your name is. And then you can just simply answer those questions, or you can write whatever you want to write in terms of those things, and you can say submit, right? I'm not going to submit because I'm not in this class, but that's basically what you need to do. So try to get that done pretty easy. It should be easy points for you. The next thing is for you to create a Hello World program. And creating a Hello World program is not really easy, but the purpose of this exercise is, on the one hand, I'd like you to be able to get your hands on and start doing something rather than first week being a fluff week. But another purpose of this exercise is for you to be aware of the online compiler. So if you just click on this guy here, you can click on here and it'll take you to an online compiler for this website. But here it automatically lands you into Python, and we're using Python 3. But if you do a drop-down menu here, you can use any one of these compilers to use, and which is, I think, is very nice. You can create an account here, and you can save your work and stuff like that. So you don't have to install a IDE for a Python right now, although I will ask you to do that in the future. But moving forward right away, you have a compiler that you can use that I find it pretty useful. You don't have to use this one if you don't want to, but I would expect you to use this one unless you have some serious objection. So we'll have some standardized. But basically what I'm asking you to do here is to run this program using your name. So just say hello world, hello, say hello, let's say, John Doe, right? Just change that, and all you have to do is to run it. Just click on this run, click run, and it shows your output right here. And if you'd like, you can just bring this up. And to show that you actually have run this, do a screenshot of this particular section. So you can do I'm using a Mac right now, so I'm going to do one of these jobs and say, like this, right? So here, and I'm going to just put it here for a demonstration purpose. So if I bring this up, it shows me that your code as well as the output, right? So this is a good way, instead of just cropping this one, then I don't get to see everything. So try to make a nice screenshot, paste it into the Word document, Microsoft Word document with a DOCX, and then submit to your, so if you go here, close it out, see. You can click on this guy here, and then it'll take you here, so you can say browse local file, and then after you save this Microsoft screenshot on a Microsoft Word on your computer, you can search by clicking on this one, and then once you find it, click on to select, and you can submit. All right, and that's all you have to do, and that's easy, 20 points right there. So I'm going to cancel it out. So that's number 2, Hello World program. And then this one here, textbook chapter 1 question. So you do need to purchase or have access to the textbook that I mentioned to you in the syllabus, which is right here. I have a subscription to it, or online access to it. So it looks kind of like this. So I'm just going to go into look at it or to read. And so here is the beginning of, or the cover. This is a custom edition for Lewis, and you can browse through it, and you can look through it. As you can see, there are 10 chapters. We're going to go through, not one per week, but we'll pick and choose whichever we want, and you can read through each chapter. Right. This week is chapter 1. So this is a big picture chapter, chapter 1. And when you get to the end of it, I think it's like chapter or page, I don't know, 30 or something. And when you kind of get to the end, there's a summary page right here. And then at the end of it, you should have some exercise questions, right? So what I'm asking you to do, if I bring this guy over here, I'm going to delete this since I'm not using that. Assignment here is answer the following questions at the end of the chapter. Chapter 1, the big picture, and questions number 1 through 10, right? So answer number 1 to 10, which is a exercise 1 through 10. Choose from the following list of people, and just answer which one goes with which one. And so again, write that on your Word document. You don't have to type the question; just simply put the answers down. Put your name, the course number, whatever, basic information, and then also just you can click on this guy here and do the same thing of browsing to file your file on your computer, and then submit, and you should be done, right? So that should be pretty straightforward. And then lastly, and so here's the last one, Zybook Chapter 1. So what it is let me show you how it looks like if you come directly, if you go into Zybook directly, right? So here is a Zybook. So I'm going to sign in. So I'm going there directly to Zybook. So here's my other books that I'm using. So I'm going to click on that. Let me go back out there and show you. And it shows you my name and the term, right? And the course number. So you can click on that. And here you have access to all these chapters and units about the Introduction to Computer Science that is put out by Zybook series. So the advantage of coming here directly after you subscribe and purchase it is that you can see all the things, right? So chapter 1 here, chapter 3 here, all the labs, chapter 11, and everything. You can do everything here, and you can even view the whatever you want to view, and so this is yours to use, right? But if you come here, your whatever you do will not be syncing back into the Blackboard. So come here if you like, just to browse. But what you need to do in order to do the homework is to maybe you want to make a note of this as to which ones you're going to be doing. But when you click on this, it should automatically take you into Zybook and make a link so that it lands into the location where your homework is beginning, and it'll just only take you through what is assigned. Okay, so so you just kind of answer those questions, and if you get it wrong, you even show the answer. You can use that feature, and when you're done here, you can move on to the next one. It doesn't go through everything. It goes through with everything that I'm assigning you to do, right? So, and you can pause and you can come back in again, and you can finish. And when you're done, you can close it out, but it'll automatically sync back to the Blackboard. You can go into Zybook from here as many times you like. If you don't get 100 from all the Zybook activities, then you can try it again until you get it all right, if you like. But it keeps the highest score, so you don't have to worry about any time limits other than the due dates. You can finish and do it in chunks, and you can try as many times you like. You should be able to verify your score in Blackboard My Grade. So I don't do any gradings out for Zybook. It just is automatically set up, and so it should be pretty convenient. If you want more exercise, like here, I only ask you to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and skip 5, 6, 7, 8, and then to 9. But if you want to do other sections, you won't be able to do it from here. You will need to log in directly into Zybook to do that, if you like. And they wouldn't count towards the Blackboard or for this course. But I picked and chose those topics that are relevant for this class. So you are welcome to do the other ones, but you're only required to do whatever I'm assigned to here. So usually I try to tell you what is assigned, so you don't kind of wonder what it is. But by clicking here, you are directed directly into Zybook link, as well as only the ones that are assigned. Okay, so those are the assignments. I know if I go into the student view, your view maybe look a little bit different, a little bit smaller, and then the other weeks are not shown here. I'll turn them on soon, so that you can work ahead or work on your own pace, but you should be able to look at whatever you need to do. So I'm going to exit out of there, and I think that's pretty much it. I do want to maybe go over a few things. Let's see. Let's go back out to the lesson plan here and make sure that I cover most of them. I talked a little bit about the course, the syllabus I covered. If there's any special accommodations you need, do let me know. I talked about the due dates. I showed you about the Zybook and some options you may want to consider. I mentioned to you about the resources and other resources that are available for you. I showed you the discussion assignment. I showed you the Hello World program. I also showed you how to access the textbook, and I showed you how to get started on the Zybook. Okay. So now let me spend a few minutes going over the textbook and the Zybook content. All right. So let me get this out of the way. Bring this over here. So in this chapter 1, they're basically trying to tell you, some big pictures. So it's going to go over some names, the history, the layouts. We'll dive into some of those a little bit more in detail. Some significant people in the history. I had one professor who actually worked in one of these AT&T communication center, which was kind of a long time ago. We don't do this, test tube, the vacuum tubes, I should say. I don't know why the test tube came. But anyway, we do transistors and we do microchips nowadays. There's some history about the names and so it's good for reading and the backdrop. And let's see. I think that's pretty much it. So it should be a good reading for you. And then in terms of the Zybook, when you do these exercises, this is directly coming in from the Zybook, so it'll show you all the programs or features. But there are three different kinds. Some in Zybook. So there's a content material that I'd like you to read a little bit, and it's a little bit bite-sized chunks, which is I think useful for you. But when you do these participation activities, and let's say you have no idea, the program has, let's say, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4 instructions. Let's say I'll put one instruction, right? Whatever, it doesn't really matter. So it's a check, right? You get it wrong, 2 input instructions, right? So it'll show you. Click again. It says 4, right? So there are 4 instructions. So you can always get the answer, right? So here you have 2 input instructions and 1 calculation line, and then here's the output, right? So these are all called instructions to the CPU to execute. But but if you type in, let's say, 4, and you click on check, in this case it says correct, right? But sometimes it'd be kind of picky and finicky. It may not accept one form. So don't get too frustrated if your answer isn't exactly the way it is expecting. But hopefully, in the beginning, I've assigned mostly the participation activities because I, basically want you to get used to the Zybook flow and the features as well as the content. But as we go through the following weeks, I may assign some challenging exercises down the road. So that's the plan. And if you have any questions about any one of these that I'm assigning, feel free to email me as you see fit. Okay. So hopefully that's pretty much it. Later this week, I am going to post up the other weeks for you. The lecture videos might be posted later if it's necessary or useful. Otherwise, glad to start the week with you. Looking forward to working with every one of you. And let's make it a great term. This is it. And so look forward to receiving your work and have a good week. Take care. Bye-bye.